Hey sis, what's going on?
Hey sis, good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I hope you've had a great week so far. I'm excited to do our third episode of our podcast together.
Yes, I'm excited too, guys. For those who are viewing, we're so excited to be here with you all today.
If you guys are tuning in for the first time, welcome to ZWSB.24. I am the SB of the ZW, and my sister here is the ZW of the ZWSB.24. So if you're returning, thank you so much for returning to tune in to our podcast. We are so excited that you guys are here to share this journey with us. We are going to talk about some of the topics or a topic that we talked about in our last podcast. So
Mhm.
we're just going to jump right in and we are going to revisit something that we talked about last time and have a bit of a story time. So let's jump right in. So this is what we're going to talk about. And here's our first question. So, Stephanie, have you experienced a relationship with someone that you thought was a friend, but it turned out differently? How did you navigate that space?
This is a toughie one. I had to go revisit um, someone, a thought that happened years ago. So it was a challenge for me with this question. So you got me with this one. But this particular individual I have known for many, many years, actually before you, Stephanie, that I was with friends with in middle school, high school, and a bit of college, a little bit after college as well. And the relationship that I had with that person was awesome, was great. I have no resentment, you all, to this day, but it ended up turning into something that now, when I look back with growth and maturing, that even though if I still was a part of this person's life, I think there would be still a friendship there, but things just didn't end up that way. We pretty much were very close through middle school. And if you all have watched and tuned in on the other two episodes, y'all will know that I was a military child. So we moved a lot of the time. And I think there was a disconnect with this particular friend because I moved in high school, but then I came back for college. But then, for some of those that may know my story, I did end up having a child. And I think with that, it just ended up not turning out to be the friendship that I wanted to last for a long time. Maybe because, like the other podcast that we had or episode that we had, sometimes the qualities that you find in a friend may turn differently. So maybe the qualities that I had wasn't what that friend wanted at that time. A lot of other things can happen, maturity, growing up. And if that person is not in the same space with you, things just don't always turn out the way you would expect them to turn out. So to navigate through that space, I just kind of went with the flow. I mean, there were times when I saw this individual through having like my baby showers, or if I ended up coming back into town when I came to visit you. And so sometimes we would see this individual. It was not the same like it used to be when I was in middle school or even parts of high school, but I still think about this person. I hope that they're doing well. I have no kind of resentment by any means, but it was definitely tough for me. Even as an adult now, there are times when I think of that person and where they are, what they're doing. And I wonder if I was to rekindle that friendship, would it be something beautiful, or if it would just be kind of one of those things where it's just like, hey, I'm doing okay, how are you? And then it would kind of, end there. I don't know. But I found out as an adult that I had to accept that whatever I was going through, that person maybe wasn't ready for me. So, or didn't know how to help me or guide me and to continue a relationship, because it takes work. And so for me, I just didn't take it personally. I just went on, and there are times I still reach out just to say hi, happy birthday. And that's how I just kind of navigated through that.
Yeah. I think that that does say a lot when you go through different things in life as you're growing up. You have patches of that with different people. And I know in our last podcast you did touch on that sometimes you have a friend for a season. And I
Yeah.
remember you talking about, being in school and working on a project together and you really vibe with someone and you guys hit it off, and then after that class is done or that project is done, then really it's kinda like you part ways with that person. So sometimes it's like that, through different transitions in life. Because 'cause I've experienced that as well through being married. I was
Mhm.
one of well, you were married before I was, and then I got married, and I think you and I were probably the first to be married amongst all of our friends our year.
I think so. I would, yes, definitely with my other separate friends from our friendship, definitely. I was the first one for sure.
I feel like we were probably the first to get to be married and to have children, and that it you're really different, like, your experience is really different. Automatically, like, your husband becomes first, your children become first, and a lot of your attention and energy goes to that space, and a lot of times people don't understand when you can't make things, when you can't stay late for things. It's just your life changes. And then as a mother, as a wife, you have to learn how to navigate that space. As a mom, you have to learn how to navigate that space. So I completely get that. And I've experienced that. And sometimes, you just have to let it go. And then sometimes you find a way to work it out with that person. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I that's good. I do remember times in college, where I at the time, not my now husband, but at the time my boyfriend, and just in that blissfulness when you're dating and giving that attention to someone else. And sometimes your other friends are wondering, hey, do they have time for me? Maybe I need to go find someone else. And not that I was trying to ever do that. It was just I was in a serious relationship and then turned pregnant. And so my focus became, what am I going to do for my family? And I'm
mhm,
in college at the same time. So, of course, in my mind, it wasn't to put anyone off. And for you, like, I am so happy that you stuck through that with me. No matter where I moved, when I got married, had children, you were just that one that just was able to understand because you were also at the time in a relationship, and you kind of knew how things were. So I respected that, and you respected me with that, but you still engaged with me, and we were able to do that. But sometimes if someone else is not going through the same situation that you are, yeah, they may not understand how it is. And I'm sure now, as I have seen this individual or this friend that I used to have, they're now experiencing what I did. Obviously, I had my child much sooner and earlier in my life. So maybe now I wonder if they're thinking, hey, I see what Z was going through. I hope that one day I can connect with her and maybe move on to a new relationship. I don't know. I always wonder about those things. But yeah, I definitely agree with you that sometimes you have to put your priorities in order. And sometimes, depending on if someone's in the same situation, they may not understand.
right. And I'm
Mhm.
wondering too, when things like that happen, sometimes I wonder if that person feels like they can reach out to you and
Mhm.
ask questions. Like, I know for me, there are friends that I have that had children after I did. And, randomly, they have reached out to me and asked me questions. And I've felt so good to be able to connect with them in that way again. So I think a lot of times we as people have a way when something happens or it doesn't happen to think, well, I don't know if this person will want to talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
I think that happens a lot because I felt like that with different things, and it's caused me to not reach out to a person. And then I think as I've become older, I've just said, "You know what? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. People are gonna feel like what they're gonna feel. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna reach out anyway, and the kindest, nicest way that I can to help them or to even ask a question. If I, see someone that's gone through something, I'll ask them, how did you cope with this or how did you handle that situation? So I just often wonder that sometimes too. So
Mhm.
if you feel like you've been distanced from me, if you're out there watching, please reach out. Ask me any questions. I
Yeah.
will come to you humbly and kindly.
Yeah. Same here. Same here.
So, for me, have I had, a relationship with someone that I thought was a friend but turned out differently, and how did I navigate that space? So, Stephanie or Z, excuse me,
Girl, call me. You're good.
is I have never told you this story. There's one other person that knows about this story, and I believe my mom, if she remembers, knows about this story.
Mhm.
So, it was freshman year of college, and, when you're in high school, you know your people, and then all of a sudden, you move into a brand new fishbowl, a brand new environment.
Mhm.
So, I was starting my freshman year of college, and there was this young lady who befriended me, and she was older. I think she was in her 2nd year, and I was just so excited that I got into college and had someone that, was looking for me, hanging out, waiting for me after classes. We had one class together and she was super sweet. I was just sometimes I think that I can maybe I don't know, become friends with someone too quickly or trust people too quickly. I don't know why. I just am a happy go lucky person. So like, she would wait for me after class,
Mhm.
and we would talk all the time, and then I think the next semester came, and she was taking a class that I took the 1st semester.
Mm.
And so she was like, "Hey, I was just wondering, I know that you took this class last semester. I was wondering if I can buy your books from you." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, sure." At that time, I don't know if you did this, Z, but when I started college, I wanted all new books
I
like a
know.
dummy.
It costs too much, you all. If y'all are in
Was
college,
that one.
the buyback books, they're just too expensive, and you're only using them for what? 2,
Right.
3 months?
Exactly, and then they upgrade the edition, and you can't sell it again back to the
Mhm.
bookstore. So, yes, I was that girl that wanted brand new books. I didn't want a book that somebody else had. And so that was me. So I got brand new books, of course, took notes, like, I'm an avid note taker, kept my
Mhm.
binders, like, that's my thing. Like, I love being organized, I love having good notes and all of that. So she knew, I guess, that I had all that. So I was like, "Yeah, sure, like, you can, buy the book for me." At the time, like, books were, like, 2, $300
Yeah, there's so much.
back then,
When you
and
got classes, that's that easily like $1,200 right there.
I yeah, for sure. So I said and at the time, I commuted to college. I lived with my parents and commuted to college, and, of course, when you're 18 years old, yes, you're an adult, but you really are still learning how to be independent and how to be an adult. So I gave her the book or whatever, and she was like, "Hey, do you mind if I use your notes?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, you can use my notes." And then she started asking me about like tests and quizzes, and I was like, "Okay, um,
A minute.
wait, hold
Wait.
up, wait a minute. First of all, you didn't pay me for the book, okay? We're about halfway through the semester, and I did not know how to say anything.
Mhm.
It was just out there, like, I told her that you'd have to pay me for the book, not the full price, but, you know, at least give me, like, $100 or something.
Mhm.
So, I told her, I said, "I can't share any, like, test information or quiz information
Mhm.
with you. I can share notes with you, different things like that, and the the book." And so she's like, "Okay, yeah, girl, I understand. I was just kidding." And I was like, "You weren't kidding."
Oh, she's trying to get those answers.
Right. And at that time, of course, like when you enter into college, there's a big like honor code speech that they talk to you about. And I'm like first generation college student. Do I
Mhm.
want to get kicked out of college for craziness? Not this girl. So the semester is over and like we continue to be friends or whatever, but it's kind of weird at this point. So I ask her, so she has a class that I'm taking in my sophomore year. So I asked her, I said, "Hey, do you still have that book? Did you sell it back to the bookstore?"
Mm,
And she's like, and it was like the edition before.
okay.
So I don't know if you remember this, Stephanie, but a lot of times when they change the edition of a book, they don't really change much of the context of the
Oh,
book.
yeah, no, they
It's
don't.
usually like the cover,
Mm,
and in my opinion, I think it's a ploy to get more money.
mhm,
'Cause when you change the edition, you can't buy back the old edition into the book.
mhm.
So, it was an older edition, and I asked her, I said, "Hey, do you mind if I use your book?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure, girl. Go ahead and, you can have it." And I said, "Oh, great, cool." And so at this point, I'm thinking that she's gonna let me have it 'cause homegirl didn't pay me for the $200 book.
You thought it was an easy, like,
Hey,
pop
I thought it was even
1 for
easy.
1, here we go.
Cool, cool. So, I she gives me the book, and she gives me the book,
Like, some money.
and then, like, I'm in class for, like, maybe 2 days or whatever, and she is waiting for me after class, and she's like, "Hey, Stephanie, my mom said that you need to pay me for this book."
Wait a minute, but what happened when you gave her the book?
I don't know.
Interesting, interesting.
Right, very interesting. So, I say, "Okay, how much were you looking for the book?" And she was like, $40. So I give her the $40. And I don't know about y'all, but like in 2006, $40 was a lot of money.
Yeah, if you're not working
A
and
lot
you
of
live,
money. I
yeah.
wasn't working anywhere. Like that, yeah, I had to pay her $40. So, needless to say, I had another friend who it's our mutual friend, Z, and she even told me in the beginning stages of this friendship, like, "Okay, I don't know about this girl. I think that maybe she's trying to see what she can get from you."
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
of
was like,
course.
"I have nothing to offer. I'm just a young college student trying to do my classes, get through school."
Mhm.
So she I gave her the money or whatever, and then I just tried to dodge her after that because it was just really weird, and
Yeah, it's awkward
it
for you.
was awkward.
Yeah.
However, she dealt with the awkwardness better than I did in a way, like, she would act like nothing ever happened. Like, I never brought up the book, maybe that's my fault, I needed to do better with that, so, yeah,
You're most likely like how I am. So I don't like confrontation. So I can
mhm,
have confrontation with my husband, which is kind of weird, I guess, for some people. But I mean, if you know someone, you know what their limits are. You know exactly how to speak to them, what you need to get out of them. But if it's just somebody that I only see once in, I don't know, every month or every couple of months, I just don't like confrontation. I'm the same way. I will give, 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 even though in the back of my mind, like if I was in your situation, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, if I lent you my book or gave it to you, I would assume that you would do the same. But
right,
I probably would have done the same thing for you. I probably would have just done it. At the end of the day, it's just $40 because if I didn't pay her, I would have gone to the bookstore and probably paid 300. So
right.
I can see why it was like between like a rock and a hard place. And so you're just like, I'll just go ahead and pay the $40. But I'm sure at some point in life, if it comes back on her, I hope that it was something that she has thought about, and hopefully the next person that lent her a book that she would have done the same in return. But I can understand why that would be kind of difficult to navigate through for sure.
Girl, I got hustled. That's what happened.
Yes.
I got hustled. Hustled. This is my first time getting hustled. So, needless to say, with that situation, I didn't really talk to her. I tried to avoid her, and then, gradually, like, had other friends, like, made other friends and different things like that. She actually worked at She worked at do you know BJ's?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She worked at a BJ's, and like, when I tell you, she got to know my family.
Mm.
She started calling my mom like, "Hey, Ma," and stuff like that, and I'm like, "Mom, that's the girl who didn't pay me for the book."
Hey, I don't know if they're still at BJ's, but I could only imagine walking and seeing that person again. What do you do?
So, here's the thing, so after a while, I just didn't see her anymore.
Hmm.
I didn't see her anymore, and I don't know where she is to this day. I don't know. I hope she's well. Uh, I hope her hustle game worked out.
I do too. I
I
do
hope
too.
I hope that hustle
It was a
game worked.
lesson learned. It was a lesson learned for sure.
It sure was. It sure was. So, I don't know, I didn't navigate that space very well. I could have probably done better, but again, I was young, I was naive, and
Yeah.
I did not give anybody anything else before getting the money first. So, if I did or I just sold my books back to the bookstore, and I
Yeah.
didn't have anything to lend, so
Hmm.
there you have it.
There you go.
Our next segment of this podcast, we are gonna go into a Q&A. How well do you know your friend? Are you ready, sis?
Oh my goodness. This is crazy thing, you all. So I've known Stephanie for 25 years, and a good half of those years, we've kind of been in and out of each other's lives. And
Mhm,
I believe it's just because, like I said before, I was military, and a lot of the times I was most of the time I was out on the West Coast for a good portion of that. So there's that hourly, like a 3 hour change, and so it made things difficult. And it's crazy because every time we get together, we don't think of, I'm sure the questions that you have, it's not, those are not the things that we think in our mind. We just go with the flow and we do things. So I'm so curious to see. I'm going to fail. I just know I'm going to fail.
You know what? I think this is gonna be fun. We'll learn
Yes.
more about each other. So, let's jump right in. So, am I a responder or listener? So, I'm gonna read the question. We both have our little dry erase boards. Uh, so we'll write our answer, and then we shall reveal. So, here we go.
Go ahead and do that. Okay. Oh goodness. Ooh.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Ready? We got the same. Yes, I
Yay!
so think that you're a listener. I'm actually surprised you gave that to me because I find that even with my spouse, I'm sure everyone here has probably heard the phrase like to stop and listen to what the person is saying to you before responding, or the saying of bite your tongue, like make sure you think before you speak. So I would think that I was a responder. I do listen, but I don't always fully let someone finish what they're saying. Not because I don't, I'm just excited. Like I'm just ready to say what I've got to. Not that I'm not trying to listen to you, because I am, but I'll just be excited, ready to just respond back. But I do see you as a listener. You definitely do, because I'll be talking, I'm sure, for like 15 minutes. You're like, can I just get something in? And you be listening to.
It's so funny that you called me or you named me a listener because I think that I'm a responder.
Okay.
I feel the same way about myself. And so, actually, in my life at this moment, I am practicing becoming a better listener because I always have something to say. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, and I'm the same way. Like, and I find myself like almost cutting, like, it's like playing double dutch, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm, like,
Yeah.
waiting for that pause, and I'm
That you
like,
can say
"Okay, time to
something.
jump in." But then
Yep.
I'll, like, halfway cut someone off, so it's yeah.
I get
That's
it.
really cool. I'm proud of me. I'm a
Yeah.
listener.
Yeah. You are a great listener.
Thank you for saying that. I've actually been practicing being a good listener and not a responder, so I'm really happy to hear that you think I'm a listener.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course. I know for myself, I have to work on that. especially with my spouse. And it's not necessarily when we're having a disagreement or anything of that. It's just I get so excited or I just want to say what I need to say like right now because I do. So my memory, I have really bad short-term memory. Long-term memory, I could remember everything. Middle school, high school. After high school, things just in the air, out the other. So I feel like if I can't say what I need to say right now, it's just gonna be
It's good
gone.
to hear.
So I think that's why I do that a lot. And some of it is I just have to be patient and wait, to be honest. So I'm going to take that challenge that what you're doing for yourself and work on it. But I'm glad that you find me as a listener, maybe because we're best
You
friends, tend to listen to each other. But my husband, I'm sure if he watches this, he's just gonna be like, mm-mm. I don't know what Stephanie just said that was about Z. That ain't true. But no, thank you. I appreciate it.
I feel that you are an impeccable listener. I feel like 90% of our conversations, I do the talking. I Do you feel that way? I'm like, I am
Exactly. No, not you. That I do. That I
I
do the talking.
I feel like I'm always telling you everything. Like, this is what I did, this is what I went through, this is how I felt, this is what I wore, this is what we ate.
Yep. See?
That is so funny. Okay, moving on to the next question. Can you name my favorite food?
So are you talking about a style of food or are you talking about like a dish? Like a like a plate of food or a specific place you like to eat? Because this
Let's
is
do type of like style of food.
okay.
Okay.
Got it. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I
god.
have oh my
Wait,
god.
ready for the reveal?
Oh, I just showed mine.
I
Okay.
showed mine too. I don't think you saw.
All
Ready?
right. I'm ready. Okay, here we go. So you are right. I have 2. That's actually my
Me
number 1
too.
is Chinese, number 2 is Mexican for me. Is this your favorite or is it not?
So, I love Chinese food.
Mm,
I
we
love Chinese food. I love Mexican food. Girl, I love some guacamole on
well,
a
because
taco.
we had Mexican when we saw each other last time, and you are always posting pictures with your kids eating Mexican food. I could have sworn it was Mexican food. Y'all, it's Mexican food. This girl eats Mexican food all the time.
I I love West Indian food too. I love home food.
Mhm.
I'm a West Indian girl,
Oh,
Trinidadian
of
girl
course, of
to my
course.
core. However, of course, like, Trinidadian food is very mixed as well. So, they
Mhm.
have a lot of, Chinese cuisine mixed in there too. So, I do love Mexican though. I really do. Actually, I had tacos today. So
See? And I had tacos yesterday for
Oh,
Taco
that's
Tuesday.
right.
Well, no, yeah, I did. I had taco, yeah, same thing. But yeah, so I know that we've gone for Mexican, so I'll make sure that the next time we go out, we'll get Chinese. I love Chinese food too. That's like my favorite. We always eat. We actually have a Chinese place right across the street, and we're there. I want to say once or twice a week. So we love Chinese food too.
So you know what I wanna do? And I don't know if you've seen this in movies or not, like, when you order takeout in and you just eat out of the box.
In the movies?
Not in the movies. So if you order takeout, like,
Okay.
I've
Okay.
seen people order takeout in the
Oh,
movie,
gotcha.
but then they just eat the
Yeah.
takeout out of the box. I never do that.
I know. I've seen that actually in movies. They're just like sitting
Yeah,
there eating.
they're, like,
I'm not
eating
gonna
it out of the box.
myself. I just serve it on a
Yeah,
just
I put it on a plate because we share, like, I
yeah.
share it with my family.
Yeah, I would get that. We should try that next time we're
We should
together. We'll do
we should.
that.
Okay, jumping right in, since we're talking about movies, would I prefer a film or TV series?
I'm already down 1. I'm about to be down 2, you guys. Oh my goodness. Mm, this is hard. For you? Oh man.
This is a hard one.
It is. It just depends what I'm going through. I'm curious though. Okay.
Yeah.
You ready?
Ready?
All right. Ding, ding. You got the same. Is this you?
Yes, I do like TV series. I really
Okay. Okay.
I do like series. Right now I'm into what everybody else is into,
Oh,
Bridgerton.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Love that show. I just finished watching it the other day.
Thank
I actually
you.
watched all 5 episodes in, like, 36 hours. So, I mean, obviously, there's sleep time in there, but what I'm saying is I
Right.
watched it because I'm such a TV series person too. I don't like waiting for the next episode to premiere. I like to binge watch. Something about that. And
Me
it's
too.
so terrible to the point where I will stay up till like 2 if it's a really great series, I will stay up till like 2 o'clock. But I am on to I watched This Is Us. That was one of my favorite series. I would definitely recommend it. But I'm actually kind of going back to nostalgic type shows. So right now, so it was recommended for me to watch One Tree Hill. It took me like a season to get into it because I think that came out 2000, oh my gosh, 2003, which was like 20 something years ago. So I'm now on season 7. I got 2 left. So it's really good for those that, well, it could be for anyone, but for those that were raised in the 90s and you were not allowed to watch these shows like late 90s, early 2000s, that's a really good one to go back and revisit. So it's really good. But yeah, I love TV series as well. So you got me with that one too.
So, to go along with that, what's what's our favorite genre of film?
Okay, I think I got this.
Oh, yeah. I got this.
Um,
I got this one on lock.
oh my goodness. I'm going to okay, I think it's a duo because I feel like it could go either way or both. All right.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Big reveal.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
That is for me. It is. I don't know if this is for you. So it is
Yeah.
romance and comedy. I figured both or maybe together.
Yes. Yep, both together. I love a good romance rom-com. My husband does not like me to watch them. Now, he will watch them with me, but he feels like I expect our life to be like that, and I do.
Yes, why not?
I
Just
do.
set the bar there because
I
that's what we should
do. When I'm
do.
arguing with you, kiss me, and maybe I'll
I mean,
do that.
realistically, I mean,
I
romance, love. I mean, if you can just give all of that, you're winning. If you don't, then I mean, why would the movies even be there? Someone had to think this and say, okay, let's put all this romance in here. It has to work for someone. So here's a movie for y'all, you guys. So go ahead and just act like the movie. We'd be good to go.
exactly. Just model what they do, and we'll be good. No, I'm just kidding. We're good anyhow. We're good.
Yes, yes, exactly. It was funny.
Next question. DC, are we DC girls? Are we Marvel girls? Excuse me.
Oh God.
Who is our favorite DC Marvel character? All right,
Oh,
I got this. I got this one in the bag. I got this one in the bag.
mm-hmm. I think we have the same, to be honest. I have a feeling. Maybe not, but there's so many characters out there. I actually have 2 favorites. So if you get either one, I'm just
I
gonna
do too.
if my father's watching this, he's gonna be like, uh-uh.
Hey, Mr.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
I am. All right, here we go.
All right, big reveal.
Yes, that is me. So is this I don't know, is this you?
I am a Marvel girl all day. So, Captain America was my favorite, but when Black Panther came out, now Black Panther is number 1 for me,
Yeah.
then Captain America.
Yes. So for me, actually, Captain America is my favorite. And I think it's just because even though he took the super serum to be a super soldier, I don't know if any of y'all that are watching are Marvel fans because I'm a Marvel fan, so I kind of know most of the in and outs of them, of the characters, anyways. I feel like he's the most human. And I know he's got the super soldier serum, but it makes me think of my husband as a veteran. I don't know what it is, and you're just doing your duty in the war or whatever you're going through for the country and you're fighting for the country. That's why I picked him. But yes,
Oh, I love that. I
yeah,
love
I think that's why I like him so much. But anyways, yes, you were spot on.
that. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay, moving right along. Next one. What's our favorite color?
You
I
already know mine
I
because
do,
we
I do, I do, I do.
I did not mean to say it the other day, but because we were just casually talking. So I know you got mine. And these things change throughout.
They do, they do.
Okay. It's a general one. It's got to be along these lines. Okay. You're right. It is.
I do
Wait,
like
is that your favorite color though?
so it's evolved. It's
See?
evolved. I like coral. I like it's
Yep.
hard. So as I've gotten older, it's hard for me to choose, like, stick to a color. Like, I'm not loyal to one color anymore. Like, I
Yeah.
like all different colors now.
Yes. I used to go through this phase back in I want to say like 2005 to 2010. I loved coral. I loved mint. I think those are really popular colors. And for mine has definitely evolved. So I like mauve, but I like mauve pink. Like it's a specific pink
Mhm.
that I like. I don't know what it is. Almost actually, if everyone's looking, it's the color right here on the banner. That is my favorite color right now. I don't know what, and it's been like that maybe for a couple of years. I feel like it's still a neutral color that goes with everything. And so, yeah, mine has evolved as well. That and black. Black goes with everything. So,
It does.
yeah.
I find there was a period in my life where I wore, like, very safe colors,
Hmm.
like navies and blacks and whites and creams, and I
Let's go.
feel like yeah, I feel like I'm breaking out of that now.
Hmm.
I know last episode, I wore gray. The episode before that, I wore gray and white and crayon and black. So, coming down the road, we're gonna be, switching it up a little bit. So
Yeah.
just stay tuned.
Yes.
Okay. Favorite music artist. I got this one.
I had a question about this though. Now that I'm seeing this, is this current artist or just like overall? Does it matter which decade or just like currently?
Oh, that's a good
Now?
question.
Because I have a couple for you, and I kind of want to pinpoint. Are we just going with like current
I
artist? Or
guess current.
I got this.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, y'all gonna laugh at this.
They're gonna laugh at me.
They gonna laugh at me. I
All
already
right.
know this. I already know.
You know I know what it
Oh,
is.
oh yeah, I know. Of course, you ready?
Okay, hold on, hold on. Big reveal.
Yes. Sea breezy.
That's because that's my
Come on,
cousin.
Brown. Come on. Is that for you?
Yes.
See, I already know. This girl, y'all loves her some Chris Brown. And you know what? I love him too. Listen, VA, hey, that's where we're at. Gotta represent. Yes, yes. But no,
Well,
you had it right for me too. You did.
okay. My
Yeah.
girl is a Swiftie and she loves Tori Kelly. I really love Tori Kelly too. Actually, you introduced me to her music, Tori Kelly, and I think she's an impeccable artist and
Mhm.
she's just really kind. Like she seems super down to earth. I know you've gone to a concert of hers. So,
Yes. I'm excited. Yeah, so she's very genuine. I actually got to meet Tori Kelly, you all. This was on her first tour that she did called Unbreakable. And it was just wonderful. I loved it. Everything about her. She's still the same to this day. And her Christianity just speaks through her. Even her music, she still has
mhm.
Christian based music in there, along with, I think now she's kind of going back to the 90s nostalgic type feel. And she's just so genuine. I absolutely love her. But yeah, I do like Taylor Swift too. She's up there. I have many other ones too. But yeah, she's
Yeah.
awesome. But for you, definitely Chris Brown. He's awesome. I mean, we've he came out in what 2005. Like, that was college for me, so my we can listen to any Chris Brown song and it just brings back those memories.
It
Oh,
does.
yes, and he's a great dancer. He acts,
Yeah.
he sings, so he's very multi-talented. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's
For me, it just brings back a lot of memories. Again, when we were graduating from high school and going into college, I know that he had his debut album, and I just remember
Mhm.
my husband always had, well, he wasn't my husband back then, but he always had, like, the latest technology, like, he always had, like, iPod. Back then,
Okay.
iPods were really, the new trending technology. So he had that. I remember us, like, listening to his music together, and I just remember his music is, and a lot of music for that matter, when you hear it, you remember where you were. You remember what you were doing.
Right.
You remember what you were going through, and I just think that he's a really genuine person too. So, yeah, that's
See, breezy, y'all.
right.
So we just want to say thank you all, for all the viewers who tuned in tonight to watch ZWSB.24. And we do have new episodes every other Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch the next episode, episode 4, that will be available on June 18th. So please stay tuned there. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe at ZWSB.24 on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And also, please stay tuned as well. When you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, we're going to start having some new things on there where you can engage with us. Comments, we might ask questions for you all, like quizzes and things of that nature, so we can have fun with that. And thank you so much for tuning in again, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, you guys. Bye,
Bye.
sis.